I am 6.4 pounds away from my goal weight for the third time in my lifetime. But nevertheless, I am so excited about being this close to my weight loss goal. And I wanted to share just a few micro tips with you guys on how I was able to accomplish that this time. And I think with these few tips, I am going to be able to maintain my weight loss this time and not have to go back down this journey again. Now, many of you know that I have had some assistance with my weight loss. I have been on the weight loss drug Wegovy for almost a year, and it has assisted me with maintaining my appetite. But having done this for the third time in my life, I had to come to the realization that I needed something more than an appetite suppressant. I needed a shift right here. I needed to shift my mindset and my relationship with food, and I have been able to do it this time. And I want to share with you guys a few things that I have been able to do in order to accomplish that. I am 6.4 pounds away. I am very excited about it. I hope you guys, any of you guys that are on your weight loss journey are that close to accomplishing your goal as well. But let me share these couple of things with you. And if they resonate with you or if you're doing some of the same things, drop me a comment. Let me know what you're doing as well. And if you have some additional tips that may help the other members of the season gang, drop those tips as well. Because I want to keep this short and sweet, but I am trying to take you guys along with me on this journey, and I want to keep you updated on how I'm doing. I made it through vacation, 4th of July, and a bunch of other things. I did not gain an ounce. I actually lost a little bit of weight because I maintained my habits while on the road, while having my birthday and having 4th of July with my family. And I know that if we just make a few little tweaks in our lifestyle and in our choices, we will be able to maintain this thing, and I won't be back up to over 200 pounds starting this all over again. My goal is to never see anything close to 200 pounds ever again. So here we go. The very first thing that we have to do is to remove trigger foods. Now, for me, I'm an empty nester. I do have kids in and out of here, but I don't have the junk foods and the things in my house that I used to have that I might grab and snack on or I might mindlessly chew on. I don't have those things in my house anymore. I don't put things in my house that trigger me. So I don't have any cookies or cakes or a whole lot of juice or candy or anything of that nature in my household. Now, my mom's house, she has a pantry full of junk. I actually was there yesterday while I was waiting on my vehicle to be serviced. And I was just looking in her pantry just to see if I would be triggered by some of the things in there. And I absolutely was not. Now, it could have been the Wegovy that is impacting the sensors in my brain that says you don't need that, you don't want that. But I did not bend and I did not break. And she has all of my favorite things there. The things that I grew up using as a coping mechanism were there, and I didn't touch any of them. So the idea is to remove the trigger foods. Now, I know that many of you have little ones running around the house. You got teenagers. It's summertime. You got to have snacks and things for them to eat. But you need to put them out of your eyesight. You don't need to know where they are. You don't need to concern yourself with where they are. Do away with all the trigger foods. When somebody comes over here, or when my great nieces come into town and they come to visit, they know there will be no snacks at T's house unless we bring them with us. But there's plenty of snacks in my mom's house, so nobody's going without snacks. But I had to remove my trigger foods because if they're not in the house, I won't eat it. If I have Oreos on the counter, I may have an Oreo or two. But if I have to get in my car, go to the store and purchase Oreos, that's another story. I'm not going to do that. If I have to jump on DoorDash and pay $7 for Oreos instead of $3 or $4 for them in the store, I'm not going to do that either. So the likelihood of me eating Oreos, if they aren't in the house, are slim to none. So the first tip is to remove the trigger foods. The second tip is to stop drinking your calories. Do away with the juice, the sodas, the lemonade, the sweet tea, all of those things. And I can just tell you guys that I have been a slave to sweet tea for a very, very long time. I love me some sweet tea. And I found myself on my vacation getting unsweetened tea because I have learned to do away with the sugar. About, I'll say 2 weeks ago, I went on a sugar detox and I did not have any sugar. And I had headaches and withdrawals and all sorts of things. And I really didn't think I was going to make it. But I wanted to see if I could do it. Now, my goal is not to eliminate sugar altogether. It is summertime. I live in Florida. I love watermelon and peaches and plums and oranges and all of those things. And they do have some natural sugars in there. So I don't eliminate sugar altogether. I just don't eat processed sugar or anything with high fructose corn syrup in it. If it's sweet for me, it's going to be naturally sweet. The good Lord put the sugar in there, and if he put it in there, I think it's for me. But I'm not drinking my calories. I am not drinking anything with added sugars in it. I'm not drinking any juices that I purchased from the store. I made a huge investment for my birthday last year on the number 2 juicer so that I can make my own juice from fresh fruits and vegetables. So I'm no longer buying juice. I am only drinking the juice that I press or that I make myself. And I'm not even consuming a lot of that because I want to get the fiber that's included in the fruits and vegetables that I eat. And when you juice, you don't necessarily get as much fiber as you could from your fruits and vegetables. So I do make my own juice, but I even limit that. Also, you have to be careful with the artificial sweeteners. They won't cause you to gain weight, but they do have the same triggers in the brain as regular sugar does to make you want it and to make you crave it. So it's okay to have a Diet Coke or a Coke Zero or something like that if you just need something other than water or unsweetened tea with a little bit of flavor in it. But just be mindful, those artificial sweeteners are targeting those same brain sensors that tell you you want sugar, you need more. So just be careful with the artificial sweeteners as well. But I don't drink my calories. Now, many of you know I am a wine connoisseur. I love wine. I make wine. I like to drink wine. And we all know that wine is nothing but sugar and yeast. That's what makes the alcohol in it. So I will typically buy a wine with a high alcohol content that tastes good to me, and I'll only have one glass every now and then. So I'm not completely depriving myself of the things that I love. However, I am eliminating sugar as much as I possibly can. But we have to be realistic. There are so many things that are in sugar that are hidden or that we don't know about. So we are going to get a little bit of sugar every now and then, and we're going to be okay with that. I'm not going to restrict myself to no sugar at all, but I am telling you that I do not drink my calories. Those are hidden calories, and if you find yourself in a weight loss stall and you're drinking lots of juice and tea and things like that from the store, that could be where those hidden calories are. Even though you aren't eating a bunch, the sugar and the calories still remain in the juice that we drink. Number 3, you have to have a go-to safety meal. And that's that meal that you are going to go to anytime you don't already have something prepped, when you don't already know what you want to eat. In my second trip on this weight loss journey, I had a weight loss coach, and she called her food plan P3. And I don't remember what the P stood for. It was protein, and something else. But she would allow us to eat as much meat and vegetables as our hearts desired. The low-carb vegetables and any meat that we wanted to eat, as much meat as we wanted to eat. Now, on this trip, that doesn't necessarily work for me because I am no longer the carnivore that I used to be. I don't eat as much meat as I used to. So that particular plan did not work for me on my weight loss journey this time. So I had to find a different way. But I had a go-to meal while on that plan. And she required us to take a picture of every meal that we ate, put it in our weight loss group, and we all evaluated each other's pictures. And that typically included any meat that I wanted to eat, any green vegetable that I wanted to eat, and we put those little flavor packets in bottles of water, and that's what we had to drink. That was P3 for us. I ate on that P3 diet 3 times a day. Typically in the morning, my protein was eggs with some type of pickle as my vegetable, and I drank black coffee. For lunch, it was typically whatever meat I chose and a salad. And for dinner, it was a cooked vegetable, whatever protein I wanted to eat, and a green vegetable. And that worked for me. And I would laugh at the pictures because my habits, or I had such a habit of eating the same thing that most of my pictures looked the same. And my coach accused me of just regurgitating pictures. But I promise, I ate that way. I did not have the assistance of weight loss drugs, and I lost 70 pounds. So when all else fails, protein and vegetables will help you get the weight off, but I don't think it's sustainable because you will sometimes get tired of eating those meals. But you need to have a go-to safety meal. My go-to safety meal now is a stir fry because I can cook stir-fried vegetables, and I do purchase fresh vegetables and I cut them up myself. But I have a stir fry with either shrimp, chicken, salmon, or shrimp, chicken, salmon, or turkey. I do buy the smoked turkey legs, and I will pull the meat off of the bone after it's been smoked, and I add that either to a salad or to my stir fry. That is what I eat. And I don't necessarily have to have a lot of meat because, like I said, I'm not a carnivore as I was back then on my second time around, but I did eat my vegetables, and I still do eat my fresh vegetables, peppers and broccoli and sprouts, and all of those things go into my stir fry. You can even buy frozen vegetables. They're much easier to prepare, but like I said, I want to get the fiber and all the nutrition that comes from my vegetables. The next tip is a big one, and that's fasting. We think that we need to eat 3 meals a day. We have been trained that we have to eat a certain amount of food every day, or we're going to starve ourselves, or we're going to, wither away and, disappear. I have a friend that swears he has got to have 3 meals a day. He got to have breakfast. He got to have lunch. He's got to have dinner. It has to be hearty. He happens to be over 6 feet tall and is naturally slim with a speedy metabolism, and it has never caught up to him. There is no way I could eat that much and maintain my weight. And it's difficult for him to understand that I just simply cannot eat the way that he does. But that is what it is. I can't eat that much. I am a intermittent faster. I am on a 16-8 plan. I eat in a 8-hour window, typically from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. is typically my window of when I eat. I work very early in the morning. I get to work at 6 a.m. So prior to this shift that I'm currently working, my window would be from 12 until 8. But getting to work at 6 a.m., getting up at 4:30 and 5 o'clock in the morning, I can't wait till noon to eat. I have also, when I really wanted to fast, when I was really trying to get the weight off, and when I initially started out on the weight loss drug, I had what was called the OMAD plan, which was only 1 meal a day. And I ate that meal typically around 12 o'clock. I had a snack around 3:30, and I didn't eat anything else that day. So I had 1 meal and a snack, and typically didn't eat anything else throughout the day. OMAD is something that you have to work up to, especially if you're one of those 3 meal a day people, but it works for me. And a lot of times I do that to this very day. I only eat 1 meal a day. I make sure it's packed with protein and vegetables. I will occasionally have my glass of wine if I'm going to have it during that meal, and then I won't have anything else sweet. But fasting is the key. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to go all day without eating or eat every other day or anything like that, because I have not been able to bring myself to do it, and I'm not going to ask you guys or tell you guys to do something that I haven't been able to do myself. And last but not least, and this is a really important one to me, make your cheat meal at home. If you're going to have a cheat day, make that meal at home. Do not go to Burger King or McDonald's or out to eat or something like that and let that be your cheat meal. If you're going to go to one of those places, stay within the confines of your diet with the foods that you eat there. But at home, make your cheat meal at home. Everybody wants pizza. Everybody likes burgers. Everybody likes French fries. Many of us like those sorts of things. I love those things. So I make them at home. I make a mean smash burger at home. I can make pizza. I can make my own pizza. And the other thing about making your food at home is that you know what's going into it. There's no additives and anything artificial. You know what's going into that meal. And that's helpful with your diet plan as well as your digestion and your overall health. When you make it, you know what goes into it. If you go through the drive-thru at Burger King or McDonald's, you can't even be sure that you're actually eating meat. We don't know what we're eating from those places. All we know is that it tastes good and it satisfies us in the moment. So if you're going to have a cheat day, cheat at home, cook at home, eat something that you prepare for yourself, and stop going to these restaurants. Now, I hope one of these tips resonated with you and may help you along your journey. It is a new lifestyle for me. I plan to be around for a long time in these YouTube streets. So if you see me back at 217 pounds, I need somebody to tap me on my shoulder and say, girl, back in July 2025, you told us you were 6 pounds from your goal weight and you fat again. I don't ever anticipate that being my situation. And I hope that each and every one of you are just as fortunate as I am when it comes to this weight loss journey and doing the things that need to be done. But like I said earlier, if there's anything that I left out, if there's some tips that work for you, drop them in the comments. Let the seasoned gang know we are in this thing together. We are doing better together. As my old coach Patrice used to say, we were the do better divas. We did better together. And I want each and every one of you to do good like I'm doing good. So keep your notifications on, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't want you to miss a thing. But until the next time, the seasoned lady is signing off. I hope each and every one of you have a terrific afternoon. Toodles.